can hear it all the time. I can see it in my mind. When you say this word, I know you are. When you say this word, I know you are.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. This is Joe Gates, is Overthinking Out Loud. I've got a really special guest here today, my buddy Nelson from Miami, who is the host of a very popular podcast called Honor Among Thieves, where he interviews guests that once lived a life of crime and have all kind of turned their lives around, and you actually live that same life as well. Man, I'm happy to have you here. Thank you for flying in from Miami and coming to little old Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You came down in the hotel lobby this morning and had your flannel on with your work pants. I'm like, this dude, he's ready to roll through Murfreesboro, Tennessee, right? And I guess I kind of played the part when I came to Miami and was on your show. I was looking pretty Miami.
Yeah, you got the leather
myself.
jacket.
I was doing it. Man, thank you, bro, for coming. How's it feel to be in Tennessee?
It feels good, man. Thanks for inviting me. Appreciate you.
Have you been here before?
The last time I was in Tennessee, I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, so it's been a long time.
Really? What brought you here when you were 4 or 5?
My dad's a truck driver. I've been to 47 states.
Oh, cool.
So, you name it, I've been there. I haven't been to Washington State, Alaska, and Hawaii. Those are the only states I've never been to.
Hitting the road with Dad.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Some of my best memories.
Man, a little bit at like how we met. I guess I'll let you kind of tell like how you came across me.
Yeah.
Which was all in this like crazy part of life, and things just started popping up for me. I was, offered a deal here to do a show, and then like within a day, you contacted me out of the blue, out of nowhere through Instagram. So how did that happen?
So funny enough, I used to produce a show that was mainly about sales. You were a guest on that show, actually. And I would occasionally just scroll through social media to look for clips for him to react to. And I don't know if it was him that sent it to me or if I sent it to him, or I don't know what, but one of us came across a clip of you on TikTok where it was some of the funniest, some of the funniest social media clips I've ever seen. So Joe was in the dealership where he works, and the caption says, when the wife says, I gotta call my husband. And then he has a song by like the Isley Brothers, and it's like, call him, babe. It was so funny. Oh my God. And I was in sales for a long time. So I was like, yes. Call him right now.
Yeah. And I think like talking to Christian and you, like when I first talked to you on the phone, first of all, I was just like, wow, somebody wants to fly me to a different state and compensate me to be on a show. Like what? And the way you had explained it, you saw that video and then you kind of started digging into my social medias and were like, hey, this guy's got a crazy story. Like,
so after me and Christian saw that clip of you doing the funny thing in the dealership, we saw another clip. He sent me this one. I remember, I don't know if it was an Instagram story or Instagram reel, where you said something along the lines of, I remember when I was in jail, I said one day, I'll be proud to have a son that doesn't have to go through this, or like I'm going to teach my son something. And anyway, the post was basically about when you were in jail and you basically alluding to the fact that the day you had a son, was going to be like the best moment in your life.
It was, if I ever had a son, I was going to turn him into a baller.
Yeah.
I remember just sitting, I was in a drunk tank and somebody was talking about like they hadn't seen their son in a long time, like some absent father guy or something. And I just remember like putting my head back against the brick. And I was just like, man, if I ever have a son, I'm going to turn him into a baller, because I always wanted to be good at basketball and growing up in Indiana. And then I had a son and I did that. And of course, I have 4 other kids as well, but, it was crazy because the day before you reached out to me,
Trent, the owner of Spread the Positive, the production company that is producing this show that we're doing right now. I was on a show that he produced, and after that show ended, he came into the room and goes, "Man, you need your own podcast." And I go, yeah, that'd be great, man. Just like dumb guy, like, yeah, that'd be cool, man. Thanks for that. Because I'm thinking in my mind, like, man, I don't have money to buy equipment, and like that's and so the guy whose show I was on goes, "Hey, man, I don't think you understand. He's offering you a podcast." I go, "Wait, what?" And and then Trent was like, "Yeah, man, you got it. You got everything it takes, yada 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 yada." And I think it was within a month, here we are, right? And well, the very next day you hit me up. And it was, to me, it was just like God kind of like going, "Hey, man, this is where I want you. This is what I want you to be doing." And then so when I came to Miami, whatever it was, a month later, which that was pretty funny because I was like, "Hey, wife, I'm going to Miami to shoot a podcast," and she's always like, "Well, we need to go on vacation, yada, 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 yada." And I was like, "Well, they're flying me there. Hey, I'm going, well, whatever." But, man, I landed, you took me out to breakfast. We shot 3 shows. And we really just became friends, man, like immediately. Yeah. Right. And so of course having you come here it's kind of surreal sitting here with you, man, in Tennessee, bro.
Yeah. It's like an alternate dimension of what, it's like deja vu.
It is.
Cool.
And it's, sometimes you meet people in life, man, and you feel like you've been buddies with them for years. And that was kind of the case with you, man. I just felt like I'd known you my whole
we
life.
hit it off, and, we hit the beach, all that. And then you met some of my friends down there. It was cool, man. Yeah. You, I don't really become friends like that with everybody that comes on my podcast.
Yes. Because, some of the people that come on your podcast might want to keep your distance from.
Yeah.
It's a true crime podcast.
Yeah.
And some of them are still involved in true crime.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly. My bad.
And not to my knowledge, because I ask people before they come on the show, "Are you active?" And if their answer is yes, and I tell them, then I do not want you on my show. I'm not DJ Vlad. I'm not trying to get people.
No. Yeah. So let's talk about that. And let's talk about how this all got started. Okay. So I want to know, because you did time in the feds yourself, right?
I did.
Or as people that I know that have been in the federal penitentiary call it Club Fed, because it's just not as strict and you got like a lot of freedom in there, from what I hear. I personally have not been to the feds. I've been to other.
Prison is prison, but if you're going to go to prison,
you'll want to go to the feds.
I'd probably want to go to the feds.
Pick your prison. So if you're going to do it big. You're 33 now. Whatever, you graduate high school, right? Kind of take me from there, what life was doing that led you into the job that then put you in the feds.
So Miami, when I was a teenager, was very interesting for many reasons. The 2008 crash, which was pretty rough on my family. My house burned down. My stepfather got an 18-year prison sentence in the feds.
For?
Pick your poison. They caught him with,
lots of stuff.
All kinds of stuff. Apparently,
allegedly.
Apparently, they caught him. There was a huge undercover sting operation where he was supposed to go into this house and rob it for everything it had. And it had like 40 keys of drugs in it. And it had all this money and it had all this stuff. And it was nothing. It was a DEA sting operation where this undercover informant had my stepfather recorded on phone calls and meetings for months, basically planning the robbery. And it was a long time, because I remember the guy used to pull up to my house in a black Escalade. And it was like this old Cuban guy, a geezer. You would never think he was like an informant for the feds. And the morning it happened, from what I hear, He pulled into a gas station, and then the feds surrounded him, and they took him in. He never made it to the house. It was a sting operation. There was never, apparently, there was never drugs. There was never anything there. And he got taken in. But the problem was, he was a 2-time loser. He had a record. He had already done 6 years for, like, armed robbery. So, they didn't take kindly to that, obviously, so they gave him 18 years.
It's kind of weird how they were able to charge him without the actual crime being committed.
Yeah, the feds, so in the federal system, lawyers don't really do anything for you, if that makes, I know that sounds crazy, but the feds have a system where they're going to win no matter what.
Yeah, there's not anything really the lawyers can do.
No, there is, but they just don't want to face the backlash of the feds for actually fighting your case. Because not all feds, because there are good cops but a lot of feds, a lot of cops, FBI agents, DA agents, prosecutors, this kind of stuff, they'll like do kind of like vindictive stuff if you don't do what they tell you to do. They tell you to do, basically. Yeah,
don't want to get on their bad side.
So the lawyers, like I've heard many stories where basically they straight up looked at the lawyer in the face and they told him, if you don't play ball here, we're going to indict you for money laundering, because I know that they're paying you with, what money is that guy paying you with? He's a criminal. So we're going to indict you for money laundering because I know you took money from him, obviously, to represent him. And that's dirty money, and I'm sure you deposited it in a bank account somewhere, so you're going to get indicted. What do you expect the lawyer to say?
Right. Dang.
So
you were watching this all go down at a young age.
Yeah. It's crazy how it all came full circle, because I grew up around a lot of, people in the criminal world. And not that I romanticized it, because I didn't really, I didn't want to be a criminal ever, because I saw what it does to the family, and I saw the kind of how much of their life they missed out on from going to prison. So for me, it wasn't about, I never glamorized it. But I will say this, ever since I was a kid and I started watching Scarface and I started watching Goodfellas and that kind of shit, Hollywood has this weird way of painting that lifestyle in a picture to where it's very attractive, right?
They glamorize it, just like they glamorize gangster rap now.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why these communities are full of guys that almost want to go to jail.
Right. No, but it's not even gangster rap anymore, because gangster rap was Ice Cube and Tupac. That was gangster rap. Now it's just become this decrepit, it's kids jumping on songs. Yeah. It's kids jumping on songs, basically walking you through how they shot somebody in the head. It's
murder rap.
Yeah, exactly. So gangster rap was like Tupac and Ice Cube and NWA. Yeah. That was gangster rap. That was different. It's not like what's happening now. But going back to, it's, I watched Scarface. My cousin, I'll give you a good example of what I'm talking about. My cousin Lewis was a hoodlum his whole childhood. My mom ends up moving him in with us to keep him out of trouble, which that didn't work. But anyway, he'd watch Scarface every day. So I watched Scarface with him. And to me, it was like, I had never met a successful Cuban in my life. Yeah. And then I saw Tony Montana, and I was like, all right, that's cool.
What it is.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I knew, I was like, all right, I'm not going to sell 1,000 kilos of coke a month. The other things, though, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Like the lifestyle, all that stuff. I want that without risking of going to jail.
Yeah.
So it kind of put me in this weird mindset of, I want what they have,
but I don't want to have to do.
I don't want to be a criminal. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was a strange way in my childhood where it kind of influenced me in a good way, because it taught me ambition.
Yeah.
And kind of going after something. But obviously kids shouldn't be watching those movies.
Right.
So
I think about that all the time now. It's like, because I'm so guarded over what my kids see, but then I think about like the things we watched as kids or what I listened to. The way you watched Scarface is the way that I listened to Tupac.
Right. Exactly.
I wouldn't listen to, like, every day pumping into my head was everything that Tupac was saying and doing, and I wanted to be like that. Bro, and I lived to be like that. I wanted to be a drug dealer, so I became a drug dealer.
Bro, we were talking about Drake on the way over here, how he's dissing everybody on all these songs. Bro, what better diss track is there than Hit 'Em Up? Like, bro, oh my God. There's no better diss track in the history of diss tracks.
It's the game has changed, man.
It's very different.
It has changed greatly. Secondly, you get into your teens or whatever.
Yeah.
and then,
So
you
my
know,
stepfather goes to prison for 18 years. My great grandmother dies. She's like the matriarch of my family. My mom kind of has a mental breakdown. My house catches fire. 2008 hits, recession. We lose our home. We lose both our cars. We end up moving into the shit trailer. We already lived in a low income neighborhood called Carroll City, but then we moved into the trailer park in the low income neighborhood, which is like, all right,
even lower income than the lower income.
yeah.
You're like, I lived in the trailer park in the hood.
Yeah. So, needless to say, I wasn't very happy at that time, but I was a kid. I was 16, 17, 15, you know? So, it's like those things weren't in my control anyway.
Yeah.
You know? But just shit was rough, man. And then a lot of other stuff happens in the interim. Like, my dad isn't in my life at that time. He doesn't come back into my life until my stepdad goes to prison, and he kind of comes around and sees like, oh, all right, I gotta, try to help here.
He needs somebody in his life. Real quick, man.
Yeah.
Just want to take a quick break and have a word from our sponsors here.
Hey, my name is Brian Nail, and I'm a mortgage loan officer with Primis Bank. I just want to say how much I truly enjoy being a part of the Spread the Positive Network. It's an incredible mission that brings so much positivity to our community. It's been a real pleasure to be involved. Now, when it comes to financing a home, there are a lot of options. And in a market like today's, having the guidance of a trusted local professional can make all the difference. Whether you're looking to purchase a new home, second home, an investment property, or explore refinancing options, I'd love the opportunity to earn your trust and help guide you through the process. If I can help you nail your mortgage, give me a call at 615-243-3976 or visit nailyourmortgage.com.
So your dad kind of comes back into your life.
Yeah, and then things kind of get a little better. But then my mom ends up wanting to move to West Palm Beach, and I'm still in high school. Mind you, I'm 6 months away from graduating.
Let me just touch on that. Like, so when your dad came back into your life, before he came back, what was the relationship like before that? I mean, was he just not around?
He just wasn't around.
Was he just kind of like, well, he's got his stepdad and they got their own little family?
No,
and
I've never
talked to him about it.
I've never really asked him about it. He just went on and lived his life. He had his Cubans have this bad habit of calling their girlfriends their wives once they're together for like over a certain amount of time. His girlfriend at the time, and that his stepdaughter or whatever, that became his family. And he kind of just forgot about us. It was probably like 2 years.
Okay.
And then my dad is, just not to bash my dad or whatever, but he's got his issues. And
He was the best dad that he knew how to be. You think? Maybe his dad wasn't around very much, or
no, yeah, he definitely had daddy issues. And then I actually had issues with my father because towards the end of his life, me and my grandfather had a great relationship.
Yeah.
And then he kind of, not that he was angry at it, but he was like, man, where was this guy when I was a kid,
Why is he doing that? And I didn't get that at all. Understandable. Right. So he makes his way back in. You seem to be accepting of that.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Because, it's not like I didn't want my dad in my life.
Yeah.
And too much turmoil was going on for me to start the whole, where have you been? And all that, Dude, we're dealing with enough. Thanks.
Yeah,
come on by,
come
bro.
on in, buddy.
Yeah.
Join the party.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is my mom ends up moving to West Palm Beach, and I refuse to do that because I'm 6 months away from graduating high school, and I'm not going to start high school over
in some place you don't know.
I've never been to, yeah. So I end up making an executive decision. I had just gotten a car, and I actually moved in to an efficiency, which if you guys don't have that out here, an efficiency is a side room you turn into a studio in a house.
All over the place.
So
because nobody can afford to live here anymore because everybody moved here from California. But go ahead.
Yeah. Don't get me started. Those are like everywhere in Miami. Because anyway, so what happens there is I move into an efficiency at my aunt's house, and my uncle's actually my
upon graduation.
No,
still in high school.
6 months away from.
Okay.
Yeah, mind you, this is across town.
Maybe I need to listen better. Okay. Because you said that. Okay.
You're good.
go
You're
ahead.
good. You're
Yeah.
good. Mind you, this is across town. I had to move all the way to Coral Gables, and I went to school in Miami Lakes, which is like a 30-minute drive. But still, at least all right, I'm in Miami. I can finish school, that kind of stuff. The thing is, now I'm an adult. Now I got to pay rent. Now I got to pay car insurance. Now, at 17 years old, I get smacked in the face with all this stuff. So I move in. God bless my uncle. He's going to hate me for this. My uncle isn't,
Be careful what you say about Unc.
Yeah, my uncle. He's never gonna watch this. Who cares?
Yeah.
He likes he likes a little liquor here and there.
Yeah.
And he works construction, so
Say less.
his work boots. He would have a bad habit of keeping his work boots inside the apartment, and the reek was just like, oh my god.
Dang, bro. That's your memory.
Smelled like
That's a core memory.
smelled like Ben Gay and bacon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for real. Not even exaggerating. So, I'm 17. I'm in this room with my uncle. I'm working from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 11 o'clock at night, closing up, going home, getting home around midnight, going to sleep, waking up at 5 in the morning,
Going to school.
go to school at like 6:30 every day. That's my life, right? A part of me thought it was kind of cool because I was different than the other kids. I literally was independent.
You were doing it.
At the same time, I had no life. I was just dude. And, I couldn't even enjoy my money because I had bills and I was making minimum wage. So every dollar went to paying bills. So I remember having this moment where this one night I got invited by some friends to go play pool at this billiards hall in Miami Lakes. I don't know if it's there anymore. It used to be called Bears. And I got there really early, maybe 30 minutes before everybody. And I used to have this 1998 Ford Windstar. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's a van. It's like this white van, and it had cages. It used to be a mail van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a creep van. Like, don't go take candy from
Yeah.
that guy right there.
Everybody in high school thought I drove
He
a
does
Bengals.
not have puppies in the back of the van. Do not listen to him.
Definitely not. So I remember, and it's funny. What song was playing on the radio? I think it was Journey. Don't Stop Believing or something like that. So I sit on the roof of my car, and the sky was incredibly clear this night, which is strange because we have a lot of light pollution in Miami.
I like the scene you're setting up.
Yeah.
Beautiful Miami skies.
Yeah. So I look up, and I'm like laying down on the roof of my car, and don't stop.
Don't stop believing.
And I'm here, mind you. I'm an atheist up until this point in my life.
Okay.
I just was very bitter, and I said,
Yeah.
Dude,
the life I've had, there's no way
there's
a
no
God.
way. I'm
Yeah.
not a bad kid. I've never done any bad to anybody.
Why is this happening to
Yeah,
me?
this doesn't make sense.
Poor me.
And then, I break down in tears. I'm like crying.
Wow. You're going to make me cry right now. Stop this.
Yeah. So I'm laying down on the roof, and I look up at the sky, and I realize, man, I think God is humbling me.
You're 17.
I'm 17.
Having that
Yeah.
mature of a thought.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. And then
Wow.
out loud, I say, all right, Buddha, Allah, God, give me a break. I don't know what to call you.
You went through the gamut.
Yeah. And I said, I believe in you. I know everybody calls you a different name, but I believe in you now. I'm sorry for whatever I did.
This is crazy, bro.
And I get it. Just cut me a break. I'll do the rest. I said it just like that. My friends got there, whatever. Didn't think 2 weeks later I found sales.
Wow.
Yeah. I got into a direct sales company that sold telecommunication services. Up until that point in my life, I didn't understand owning a business or a salesperson. I didn't understand there was multiple ways of making income.
Yeah.
I understood clocking in and clocking out. Like, that's it. I didn't. It's
crazy, bro.
I didn't understand being an entrepreneur, owning a company, or having a sales force, or any of that stuff. So
I guess what's blowing my mind right now, not to interrupt you, is just like, it always blows my mind. Like here you are, 17 years old, your stepdad's gone. You've grown up around all this craziness. Your dad's popping back into your life. Your mom moves away. You're trying to finish school. You're working pretty much a full-time job. You're sleeping at night, but you can't get to sleep because your uncle's boots smell like bacon and Ben Gay. And you have the mindset and the almost spiritual maturity enough
to sit there by yourself and say this prayer to God that worked. And then I'm like at 17, bro, like at 17, I'm like, my mindset is, why am I selling quarter bags and dime bags when I could be selling pounds? You know what I'm saying? And my life's a wreck.
My life could have been very easily.
But I'm not thinking, hey, God, I want to be an entrepreneur. You know, like, so I just, which in knowing you, I can see that as a truth for you because I see the way you run your business. But that moment and the moment you just painted for us to look at and think about this kid, man, in Miami who's had like no real direction and guidance in life from like a solid male figure except Scarface. But even while you were watching Scarface, you didn't go, oh, it takes dealing drugs to get here. You like, I want that, but I'm not selling dope. Like you had that emotional maturity, man. You know, not to interrupt you, bro, but like that's unbelievable to me. Maybe it's not to other people. I don't know. To me, it is because I wasn't thinking that way.
Thanks, bro.
You know,
Yeah.
so you're on the van. The friends show up.
Yeah. So 2 weeks later, someone shows me a sales job, and to me, it made sense right away. I was like, wait a second, I could make $300, $400, $500 if someone buys something from me. This is amazing. I don't have to work like a dog to make $200 a week at McDonald's. To me, it was like revolutionary, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Did you correlate that to that prayer?
Of course.
Wow.
Immediately, the second I saw it, yeah. So, mind you, check this out. To get licensed or whatever, you needed $499, right? I was always broke. I never had money. We had done this thing, I don't know what it's called or the correct term for it in English, but in Cubans, a lot of people at work, what they'll do is every month, all the employees will pitch in $50, and then every month, one of the employees gets that money. So I think there was maybe 20 of us, so it was like $1,000. So every month, somebody got $1,000. Right?
That's how y'all do. That's how y'all get down.
So basically, it was kind of like a savings account.
Yeah.
Where everybody got.
Well, I see Hispanic families do that too.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So I was the last one of the 20 people, and I got paid my $1,000 like the day after I found that sales job.
Wow.
So I threw down my $500. I got licensed, and I sucked at first. I was horrible. But then somebody introduced me to Jim Rohn. I don't know if you don't know who Jim Rohn is. You need to go look him up right now. And Jim Rohn changed my life, man. Just those simple things like, you know, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. There doesn't need to be less challenges. You just have to have more wisdom. Like those simple things of like, wait, so the world is just the world. I just need to get better as a person. Dude, that was like, you know,
Wow.
that was nuts. And basically what I did was, you know, I started reading books. I just was so hungry for knowledge. I got better at communication and talking to people and that kind of stuff. And over the next, that was 2018. That was 2010-ish, 2011. Over the next 6-7 years, I grew a sales organization that had like well over 3,000 sales agents, probably over 100,000 customers, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And okay, so that seems really, you know, successful and like something you would want to stick with.
For sure.
What took you out of that?
So the guy, the owner or the leader of that group had a really bad cocaine problem.
Sales and cocaine sometimes go.
Sometimes correlate. Yeah.
Not so much anymore, but yeah.
Yeah. So he.
Guy had a cocaine problem, lives in Miami. But go ahead.
So touche. Oh my God. So,
Touche.
Yeah. Basically, he was our leader. You know, he was the guy that kind of would motivate us and teach us. And
You always had a ton of energy. Really?
now
Yeah.
we know. Now we know. So
He's like, man, he would motivate us so much, but he was always grabbing his nose.
So basically, but it was gradual. It started like little by little. He started falling off, and then he got married to to a woman who also had a substance problem, and that turned everything even worse. And then the organization just started falling apart little by
Terrible.
little. Yeah. And then
Stay off drugs, kids.
And then after 6 or 7 years of being in this super positive growth driven organization, I'm forced to do the one thing I didn't want to do, was go get a job.
Yeah.
Sucked.
So you go get a regular job.
Yep, I get a job at an insurance company called Simply Healthcare Plans.
Okay.
Which is a Medicare Advantage
Are
company.
we getting into the?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is where it all began.
This is where it all kind of.
Your journey to the Federals. Okay.
Yeah, something like
Never
that.
been arrested in his life.
Never.
Been a good boy, laying on the back of the van, talking
Yeah.
to Jesus.
Yeah, never.
You know.
So basically, I get this job, and remember, I've been reading books. I've been working. So I got work ethic, integrity, all these positive things that I've cultivated. So I bring those things to that job, and I move up really fast within 6 months. Obviously, you know how corporate America is. Like corporate America, people are toxic. They're negative, haters, jealousy, all that stuff. So the people above me start kind of like throwing shade my way and stopping me from growing.
Because you're making them look bad.
Right, because they're not. Everybody wants to sit on their ass and do nothing for 40 hours. And I'm like, no, I mean, I'm getting paid to do a job, so I'm going to do the job. And basically what ends up happening is I realize the situation and the environment I'm in. And instead of doing what you should do in those situations, which is just leave and find a better environment, I got bitter. I got very bitter, very angry. Man, I was my own man. I was set. I lived my own life. Now I have to work for some jackass that doesn't know anything, has never owned a business, is broke, is miserable, and he's my boss, and he's just some loser who's never done anything with his life.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, I'm kind of in that negative mindset, sort of. And I don't know how soon it was after I got the job. I think it was probably like a year, maybe 6 to 8 months after I got the job. Someone approaches me and they're like, hey, what kind of insurance do you guys have? And I was like, we have this kind of insurance. And he's like, oh, well, if you got like shoulder pain or whatever, you can come see us. We'll pay you for doing therapy. And I didn't think much of it at the time. I was just like, yeah, whatever. And then the guy was like weird. He wouldn't answer the phone when I called. So I left it at that. But then a couple months later, he calls me back. And he's like, hey, bro, you want to come get the therapy? And I was like, sure. So I actually take an early lunch break at work to go to the clinic, sign all these papers. I go to this clinic, sign all this paperwork. And then the clerk or whatever, the dude at the front desk is like, listen, the doctor had to step out, but we'll call you so you can come back. And I was like, okay. I'm thinking this is a totally legitimate doctor's appointment at this point.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, all right, I'll go and come back, whatever. They'll call me. As soon as I leave the clinic, the other guy calls me, which is weird. I don't know. I guess he had been in contacts with the people at the clinic, and he's like, hey, where are you at? And I was like, oh, I'm going back to work. He's like, all right, when you get out of work, come to my house. He sent me his address.
And how did you meet this guy?
I met him through like a friend of a friend
Yeah.
kind of thing, where they noticed what kind of insurance I had, and then I guess, they knew about the whole racket that the guy had going on. So basically, I go to his house, and he hands me $800 cash.
$800.
$800. And I was
And
like,
you're like, what?
what is this for? And he's like, oh, yeah, this is what, And he basically kind of broke it down like, listen, this is, they bang the insurance, and if you're doing us the favor, we'll break you off. And I was like, okay, cool.
So they're billing the insurance for whatever, $6,000 or whatever.
No, it was a lot more.
Lot more.
Yeah.
And giving you $800 to come
Yeah.
in and do an insurance claim.
Mind you, at the time, they're not explaining like in detail.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, oh,
Now you're starting to know, okay, what's going on
And then
here?
he's like, oh, do other people who work with you have this kind of insurance? And I said, yeah. He says, well, we can work something out. If you bring some of them this way, we can take care of you. And then immediately, have you seen, the Mask? You've seen The Mask with Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
You know that scene where he punches the guy in the face, and then the guy hits the slot machine?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. You just
know?
saw dollar signs.
Yeah. And then
And how old are you at this point?
this was 2017-ish.
So you're
I was born in
23,
I was
23,
24,
24. Young and
25.
impressionable still.
24, 25.
Yeah.
Mind you, just lost the career opportunity that I thought was going to, I was going to make it in. And I was like, all right, this will get me back on my feet. I'm going to do this just to get back on my feet. I'll quit this job, and then I don't have to do this anymore, and then I'll figure my life out. I'll at least have a little bit of money to float on.
So are you quitting where you currently work?
Not at that specific time.
Okay.
But so basically what happens is the guy, after the first few people I refer, he's like, all right, this guy can bring me a lot of
This
business.
guy's bringing me money.
Yeah. So later I found out the clinic was making anywhere between $30,000 to $50,000 per person. And he was getting paid anywhere between like a third to 50% of it. The guy that was plugging me in. And what he worked out with me originally was he was paying me $2,000 per person that I brought in. Whatever they got paid, it was basically up to me. Whatever I could work out with them. It was $500. In some cases, it was $1,000. In some cases it was $1,500. So I'd be making anywhere between $500 to $1,000 per person, more or less, when it started. 40 people later, after like 6 months, we're like, whoa, like, dude, this thing is rolling.
How much money have you made at that point as a 24-year-old kid?
6 months into it, I was enough to where I didn't need my job. I can't tell you like a specific number, but definitely in the tens of thousands.
Okay.
Like cash that I was sitting on.
Cash money.
Yeah.
Under the table.
Yeah, that I was still sitting on.
Stacking away in your closet.
Yeah, exactly. Because I still had my day job, so I didn't need the money. I had like income.
So you were stacking
I was
all that
just
paper?
stacking it. I was living with my grandfather at the time. So it was just like, and then 6 months into it, he offers me more money. He's like, all right, listen, you've been doing good. Now he offers me like $3,000 to $4,000 per person. And it's like, oh shit, let's go to town. Boom.
Yeah.
40 turns into 50, 60. Before you know it, I lost count. Like at this point, like a year into it, a little less than a year into it, I had made probably, I wouldn't be able to tell you a number, bro.
Give me an average.
Cash money.
Cold cash.
Mind you, this isn't money I kept because, like I said, I had to pay people. So all this money wasn't mine. But cold hard cash that went through my hands in the first 12 months was probably like $300,000 in cash.
And what do you think you got out of that? 150?
At least half. Yeah. In less than a year. So, mind you.
And this is 2017.
Yeah.
150 in 2017, man.
It's money.
Is some bread at 24 years old.
Yeah. It's money. So.
Did you spend any of it? Were you like balling out, going to nice restaurants? Like what? Are we just stacking it in Grandpa's closet?
So basically, what happens is I don't really do much with it while I'm at the job.
Okay.
But once I quit that job, I just went to town, bro. Like I had all the time in the world. I did whatever I wanted.
What? But I mean, were you like buying cars or
No,
like?
I was traveling. Yeah. It's Costa Rica, Colombia, you name it, bro. I was out of here. I was good for two trips to the strip club a week. I was, yeah.
What any 24-year-old would do with that kind of money. Yeah.
So,
good stuff.
I remember one week, I'll tell you, this is a true story. Mind you, I'm living with my grandfather. I don't pay rent, So,
that's crazy, holding out all that cash.
Yeah, because to me, it was like, man, I'm not working right now.
If you hand Grandpa $20,000.
How much of an idiot will I look like if I pull up to my grandfather's house in a Porsche, and come on.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
That's a movie.
Definitely,
Yeah.
right? Which many idiots in Miami do, trust me. There's plenty of guys who live in efficiencies and drive a Corvette. So I remember getting home from some party. I don't know, that those parties were fun. So I must have blown like, $5 or $10 in the strip club that night.
That's stupid, but go ahead.
It's fun though.
It was at the time.
Now $10 will probably buy you 2 lap dances. Anyway, so
or you can invest it.
Yeah, you should invest it.
Yeah.
So I get home, I'm like dead tired. I'm looking through my closet, and I see this red pillowcase. I said, what is this? I grabbed the red pillowcase and I empty out on my bed, and it was $60,000 in cash, bro.
That you forgot about?
I forgot about it. It was just in the back of my
Golly, man.
And I said, man, I should stop doing this. I should definitely stop doing this.
Once again, your mind is always in the right place, man.
Just flash it like.
I mean, I'm dumping 60 out of a pillowcase that I forgot about. I'm like, I got to keep doing this. I got to do more.
Not me.
Is there other companies I can work
No.
part-time for?
No, I needed a diaper. I was just, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, that's not good.
It was just this moment of,
Yeah.
yo,
Sobering
bro.
clarity. And then not too far after that, I get so I usually call this guy 2 or 3 times a week to do my pickups so he can pay me what he owes me. This one day, his phone is off. It's
Okay.
not ringing.
And walk me through this.
I will.
Minute by minute,
I will.
detail
I will.
by
I will.
detail.
So up until this point, we've been maybe doing this a year, maybe a little less than a year. He's always like, I got you next week. I got you in 2 days. This guy was such a psycho. He would make 20 or 30 or 40 grand in the morning, like have it in his hand. And by the end of the day, he'd have no money left. Zero. He'd owe people money by the end of the day. This guy was just wild. So a lot of times he would always be like, oh, let me borrow 2 or let me borrow 3.
He's borrowing money out of the money he owes you.
Out of the money he's about to hand me, he would keep some. He was always good for it, though.
Was he on drugs?
I actually never looked into it. I don't know. I don't know what his deal was. I don't know if he had a drug problem or a gambling problem.
Crazy.
He had a woman problem for sure. He was, bro, every time I saw him, he was with like, and I'm just like, dude, 40-something-year-old dude. I'm like,
How old is she, sir?
yeah. It's like 21, Anyway, so, but he always paid me.
Okay.
Sometimes
He's always good for it.
Sometimes he took 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, but he always paid me. So there's one day he's just not answering the phone, and I think, what am I thinking? Oh,
They got him.
they pay. No. That's it. He couldn't pay up. Like, he's dug himself in such a deep hole. He's like hiding. And towards the middle of the day, I said, all right, I have 2 options. I can just forget about this guy, or I can pull up to his house, bang on his door, and make him pay me. Right? And I said, well, if I show up...
Now you're remembering those Scarface movies.
Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. But I was like, all right. Yeah, I'll just show up there with like 4 or 5 of my dudes. He'll open the door and see all of us, and then he'll pay me.
You could take that one guy you introduced me to. Go get the guy's money.
So I'm like, all right. That sounds like a plan. At least I'll get paid. So I'm about to make some phone calls. I'm literally about to make some phone calls. Hey, you want to make $100? All right, come with me somewhere.
Yeah.
I get a phone call from a phone number that I
Didn't recognize.
And I was like, you know what? Let me answer it. Hey, this is so-and-so. Listen, we got to meet up. It was a lady who you should do business with, that guy. And I was like, this is weird. But something told me meet up with her. You'll probably find out what's going on with him. I said, all right, we'll meet up. Meet me here at this time. So I meet up with her. And she hops out of her car. First thing she says is, listen, the feds caught him this morning. They kicked in his door. And this is pretty much over. So just letting you know out of courtesy so you know what's happening. And I said, okay, thanks for letting me know. And at that point, it should have been the clear end of it. I should have walked away.
With your pillowcases. And,
Yeah. So, mind you, he gets popped for a totally different case that has nothing to do with me or whatever.
Wow. What was it?
Some other clinic thing he had going on.
He had a couple things going on.
Ours was physical therapy.
Okay.
The other thing, I don't even know what it was, but it was some other clinic scam he had going on.
Okay.
Like any good scammer, he had his hand in many cookie jars.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, all right, he got caught for some other stuff. It didn't have to do with this. Take this as a sign. Move on. Leave it alone. You have a little bit of money saved up. Just move on with your life.
Walk away.
Yeah. Until I get a phone call, and it's his buddy. That I knew him. That owned one of the clinics. He's like, hey, let's meet up. Let's talk. I should have said, listen, buddy, no, man, I'm good. Like, you know.
Were your spidey senses going off when he called at all?
No, I didn't think he was anything. Like, I didn't think he was working with the feds or anything. But it was time for me to quit at that time. Like, enough is enough. But I met up with the guy because greed is powerful. And he offered me twice as much money as what the other guy was paying me. And of course, me like an idiot, time to go to town. Because you can get physical therapy twice a year.
You're deep off in it now.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
blinded by the money.
Completely.
You're remembering all those
Completely.
Scarface movies
Yeah.
where he had all the money, and
Yeah,
you're like,
for
well, at
sure.
least I'm not selling drugs.
Yeah.
You're justifying
it in your head, all
Yeah.
that stuff. So basically, what happened was, you can get physical therapy twice a year. So we had done that whole group of people from my job the year before. Next year rolls around. It's now it's early 2018. I want to say between March and June of 2018, we ran through the same exact group of people. So I made another 150-ish in 90 days.
Crazy, bro.
Insane. So here's the sobering moment for real of what really happens. And this is when I'm like, all right, enough is enough. I get a phone call from a friend of mine who was always broke. One of the people that I referred to the clinic or whatever, and they were always broke, always borrowing money from me, but they were always good for it, $200 a year, $500 a year. So this one time he needed $500, and he said, come on this day to get paid or whatever. So I come back to his house, and it's a married couple. They used to work with me. They're good people. I still talk to them sometimes. And they used to have this balcony. We sat on the balcony, and the wife was like, Nelson, the FBI knocked on my door today.
And these were just people that you would help occasionally. They had nothing to do with the business or anything?
No, they came in as patients, and they got paid for going to the clinic. You know what I mean? But they weren't doing what I was doing. I was a recruiter. I was getting paid to bring.
So the FBI raids the place. They get the paperwork.
No. The FBI just knocks on her door at her house.
I'm saying the office, and that's how they got her information to come knock on her door.
Because they're investigating. Yeah.
Okay.
They're like sitting out. I'm putting it together because it's been a while. They're sitting at the clinic taking pictures and shit, like hiding in a car.
Yeah.
And they see everybody that comes in and out. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
assuming they saw her.
Yeah.
And they just figured out who she was.
This is a documentary, bro.
It's crazy. Yeah. So they go to her house. They pull out. She's like, Nelson, they came here, sat in that living room, and started pulling out pictures of people. They didn't pull out your picture. But, yeah, it's bad. Like, the FBI was here. So
did she say, hey, we told him stuff? Or did she say, hey, I didn't
No, she
say-
said that she denied everything, that she told the FBI, listen, I went there because I needed the services, all that kind of stuff. But obviously, out of courtesy to me, she was like, listen, this is what's happening. So
Get ready.
Yeah. So in that moment, that veil of greed that just had its fangs in my neck,
Yeah.
that was just...
That guy that laid on the back of the van asking for God, he was gone.
Yeah.
And he was,
And
money was his God.
Yeah. Something totally different took over for quite some time. That moment was enough to pierce that veil, that veil of like greed that just was sucking my soul. And it woke me up to the reality of the situation.
You weren't a bad guy. You just got influenced by large amounts of money.
Yes.
And it can happen to anybody. It can
definitely-
happen to the kid that is
Yeah.
praying to God for a new path and whatnot. And I think, the way I look at things like that is God had such a huge plan for your life, and the devil knew that, and he was infiltrating that. He was like, no, I can't let this guy take off like God wants him to take off. I've got to. How can I get to him? How can I get to him? How can I get to him? Money, and boom.
Yep.
That's the way I look at those things, man.
So basically, at that point, that was a very sobering experience, and what I immediately remember is just this unbearable shame, just overcoming my entire body, and being like, "Dude, you're the reason the FBI showed up at your friend's house."
Shame, guilt, remorse.
Yeah.
You know my story,
Embarrassment.
man. It's I know. I've gotten those phone calls. Hey, man, SWAT team just knocked on my dad's door. My dad calling me. Police just kicked our door in. Who did you kill? Those were my dad's words. Exactly. And the anxiety that comes with that, because they're going to get you. Do you go turn yourself in? Do you take off running? Do you off yourself? Do you end it all? Like, what do you do, man?
Yep.
And so that place that you're in right there, I know that place. I've been in that place,
For sure.
So, all right, she hit you up, this and that, the
Yeah.
shame, the veil is pierced.
It was over that day. That night, I used to have a second phone that I did all that all that shady business on. I shipped that phone to Cuba. And that's it. I stopped.
Did you still have bread?
A little bit. Yeah.
50?
40, 50, 60, something like that put away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had
Okay.
some money. Yeah. But mind you, I haven't had a job in a while. So I'm
Yeah.
living off that money. So I move on with my life. I let it go. Whatever happens, happens. I had a friend of mine who, this was actually the reason I quit the job. He knew of me and my background, and we had worked together in the past. He knew my work ethic and like all the positive qualities I had accrued throughout the years. And he offered to go in 50-50 with me on a business, which was a medical marijuana clinic, where basically we offered medical marijuana services to patients who needed it. And it went great. That was doing well this whole time. And basically, now we're talking summer 2018 when all that happened, and my friend calls me and all that, and I decided, all right, I'm done
Yeah.
with this. I go full force into that business and blew it up, within 4 years, until July of 2021. I think at our height, we had a little over 4,000 patients.
Wow.
So that business,
So we've gone from 17 to 21 and nobody's came and got you yet.
no,
Wow.
no. The only thing I heard, remember Ben Gay Uncle? So he was friends with some people that knew my plug. And he told me, hey, listen, I've been hearing the guy's ratting on everybody. So take it or leave it. I'm just letting you know. You're my nephew,
I love you, but
I'm not judging you, but this is what's happening.
yeah, be prepared.
Yeah. Mind you, that was like 6 months after he got caught. This is 2021.
We're talking 2 years later. 3 years.
3.5
later.
years later.
Yeah.
Almost 4. And, dude, I'm kicking ass and taking names at this point. Like, we drew out a strategy to take that medical marijuana company public. We had an 8-figure exit plan. I have a stockbroker who's sending me $5 and $10 every couple of weeks from stock. My stock account is on fire. I had invested some of the money. Like, things are just
True business, man.
I'm batting 1,000. I'm kicking ass and taking names. I go to Medellin for the first time. This was my first trip to Colombia. Whatever. My trip to Colombia, the best vacation I've ever had in my life. Like, tons of fun. We have a great time. This was July of 2021. I get back, and I don't know if it was Homeland Security or TSA that stopped me on the way when I got off the plane. This was very strange, and it didn't make sense until later. So this plane, 2 dudes in uniform and a plain-clothed agent that had the badge around his neck stopped me when I'm getting off the plane. Lets everybody pass.
This is the least I've ever talked on my own podcast. That's how intrigued I am by this story.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So, mind you, 3 years have passed by, so I'm not thinking anything. It's been 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm living my life, This guy starts asking me questions about Colombia, why I went, and I'm like, bro, this is so stupid. I went for a vacation, I stayed here, I did this, I did that. After 10 minutes of just asking questions, mind you, I'm with a buddy of mine who I travel with occasionally, who, like, doesn't understand why we're being stopped either. After 10 minutes of getting at all these, they take us into a room and pat us down, search through all our shit, and then let us go. I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was just one of those
Just a random search. Cuban guy
Yeah.
getting off a plane from Colombia.
Yeah, exactly. So I get it. So that was Monday.
I accidentally called you Puerto Rican last night. I apologize.
Oh, good. You're good.
Oh.
So Thursday, that was Monday. Thursday, which was July 31st of 2021, I got a phone call from a phone number I don't recognize at 5 in the morning. I look at my phone, I turn it off, I go back to sleep. I hear a knock on my door. Mind you,
Grandpa's house?
no, now I'm living in the efficiency at my aunt's house.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't even mention this. So in late 2018, after that a few months, very short after the whole experience that the FBI agent goes to my friend's house and all that, my grandfather dies.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
that's a whole nother, that was rough. So in late 2018, I move into this efficiency at my aunt's house. Fast forward to 2021. Mind you, I live in the backyard, so the only way you can knock on my door is if you know I live there. Most people, you drive on the street, you can't even see my apartment.
You're like, why is my aunt knocking on her own door?
Yeah. So I open the door, and she's like, "La policía está afuera. The cops are outside."
It was the aunt.
And I said, "Yeah, my aunt
And she said, La policía
está afuera." Yeah.
está fuera. The cops are outside. La policía está
they're-
fuera. Did I
And
say
they're
it?
looking
Did
for
I do
you.
it?
La policía está afuera.
La policía está fuera.
Afuera.
Afuera.
There you go.
La policía está afuera.
There you go. There you go. There
Okay.
you go.
All right. Thank you.
Anyway, so, and they're looking for you. My phone rings again.
Goodness
Same
gracious.
phone number. I answer the phone. Is this Nelson Rodriguez? Yes. This is an agent such and such with the FBI. You have 5 minutes to come outside.
Woo, the FBI is coming for you,
Click.
buddy. The big boys. What your mind? What that second, that moment right there? What did your mind? Where are you here?
What in the blue hell is going on right now?
You thought blue hell?
No, I thought others. But
What in tarnation?
what is going on? Am I living? Honestly, my first thought is, Dad, what did you do, bro? Good, because we have the same name. Me and my dad have the same name, and it's happened in the past.
What did you do, Dad? You know, God, I know. I mean, I may have been involved in a
Whatever.
healthcare scam that
Right, but
garnered
this
me
is
hundreds of
4 years
thousands
later,
of dollars.
Joe. This is 4 years later.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that at this
You've already
point.
gotten your life together. You own a business.
Dude. So I walk outside. 4 City of Miami cruisers blocking off the street here. 4 City of Miami cruisers blocking off the street
Oh
here.
gosh,
4 unmarked cars in the front of my car. 2 FBI agents.
the look on your aunt's face.
AR-15s pointed at my house.
Nice.
I unlocked, mind you, George Floyd had just gotten shot. Maybe, or not shot, I'm sorry. That whole George Floyd thing
knee
happened
in the neck.
maybe 30 days prior, 60 days
So
prior.
you're thinking in your head like, oh no,
These guys are not doing this today.
they will not George Floyd me
So
today.
I open the gate. I immediately turn around, put my hands on my head, and start backing up slowly. And I hand
You
my
know the drill.
yeah.
You saw it on TV.
No. I knew this my whole life. Come on, I grew up around criminals.
Yeah.
I knew how to act around cops.
Yeah.
So I hand my cell phone to my aunt, and I told her call my parents. And then and really fast. I remember this. In the 2 seconds that I had, I texted my business partner, "Yo, I'm getting arrested. I don't know what's happening. I'll call you as soon as I get out." Boom. Hand the phone. Start backing up. They cuffed me. I don't even remember if they read me my Miranda rights.
Are you even thinking the healthcare scam?
I'm thinking
yet?
I don't want to die.
Okay. All right.
I'm
Yeah.
literally. I'm not
Good
going to
point.
die.
Yes.
I'm not going to die right
Not
now.
dying today.
We will figure this out later. If it's a mistake or whatever it is, I'll find out.
But today I'm not dying.
I'm not dying today.
Okay.
So they cuffed me, and I'll show you later. There was a Channel 7 news
Oh,
van outside
let's
my
go,
house.
bro.
I have the clip. It's a part of my intro on my show. Yeah, you see me getting arrested on Channel 7.
Way to go.
So they throw me in the back of this Hyundai, this unmarked Hyundai.
Okay,
That's all they could afford. But go ahead.
Yeah. And we drive all the way to Miramar, Florida, which is 45 minutes north of my house. That's where the FBI...
What are they saying to you on the way there?
Nothing. Not a word. Nothing. That's
Wow.
how the feds... Yeah, that's the feds for
Did you try did you try to attempt small talk? Like,
didn't say a
was
word.
it early in the morning?
Yeah, it was like 6 or 5:45.
Yeah. You weren't like, hey guys, what'd
No,
you guys have
I'm
for
wide awake
breakfast?
though. Trust me.
What'd you guys have for breakfast
No,
this morning?
no,
Yeah. How are the kids? No.
no.
Okay, none of that.
Don't say a word. Nope.
All right.
Nope. So they take us to the FBI station. And
Who's us?
no.
You said they take us.
They take me. I was alone
Okay.
at that point.
All right.
But the reason I say us is because once I got there, I was sitting in this like warehouse part of the FBI place, and then little by little, it started bringing in other people.
Dang, they had you in a warehouse, dog, like the movies. Oh
Crazy.
man,
So they fingerprint us. They do the whole spiel.
is it the other people you were in the healthcare thing with?
Yeah, that's
So now you know.
That's what I was about to say. The second people started walking in, people who got arrested start coming in. I was like,
Oh, what's up, guys?
No, this is not happening right now. And I recognized almost everybody. Some people I didn't recognize because I had never met them, but some people I recognized immediately.
Gosh, our lives are very synonymous. But go ahead.
It's crazy. So, they throw me in a room, they interrogate me, all that shit. And
I thought I was like having a friend reunion when they brought me in. It was like everybody I knew. It's like, hey, what do you? It was like 30 of us, bro.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
30 people I knew.
yep.
Anyway, go ahead.
So after that, they take us to the U.S. Marshals in downtown Miami. This was crazy.
You're doing it big, dude.
This is-
You're on the news. You're in a movie. FBI warehouse Denzel Washington shows up to interrogate you. And now you are at the U.S. Marshals downtown Miami.
There's this crazy tunnel type thing.
Oh my God! Now we're doing underground tunnels.
Hold up. So I didn't even know this existed until they drove through it.
Of course you didn't. Why wouldn't you?
There's this crazy tunnel type thing the feds take me through.
Okay.
And then they end up in this secret parking lot in the back of the
Shut
building.
your mouth.
And then we're just sitting in I'm sitting in the car. Mind you, the drive down from the FBI station to the U.S. Marshals is very different.
Not the secret tunnel, bro.
Now it's like, and I'm saying this out loud, I'm like, man, this is going to F my whole life up, man. This sucks. And they're like, bro, you're young. Don't worry about it.
This is what the feds are telling you?
They're like, you're young. Don't worry about it.
Oh, hey, you're good.
Yeah,
Year,
you're good.
2, fee, 4 years in the feds, you're out.
I wanted it. I should say what I wanted to tell the guy, but anyway.
Are there any tears in your eyes through
None.
this whole process? Nice,
None.
tough.
So
Secret tunnel.
we get there. Maybe
Who's the guy in that one movie, The Fugitive? Who's the sheriff in that? Tommy. Gosh, what was
The
his name?
Fugitive?
Remember the movie The Fugitive with Harrison Ford?
Oh, yeah, I remember
Who
that
was
movie.
that actor? The sheriff.
Bro, I haven't seen that movie in 20
I
years.
don't know. Well, that guy shows up. Who is it? Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee
You
Jones.
drive through the tunnel. You go into this room. Tommy Lee Jones shows up.
No, actually, no.
Okay.
This guy looked more like Ray Lewis. He's a huge, buff, black dude. Anyway, so we wait maybe 5 minutes. The marshals come down. They turn us into U.S. Marshals custody. At this point, I'm thinking in my head, what am I, Osama bin Laden?
Is there a small part of you that's like,
No,
okay, all right.
not at all.
See, we're different.
Because it's ridiculous. I'm like, dude, I took people to a clinic. What is this? What is this? Like, Anyway, they take us all
Took
upstairs.
people to a clinic and also forgot 60 grand cash in a red pillowcase. But I digress.
So they take us upstairs. The U.S. Marshals were really nice.
Okay.
They were-
Shout out to the U.S.
No,
Marshals.
seriously, the U.S. Marshals in Miami, they were cool, man. They were just doing their job.
Respectful.
You know? Yeah, super respectful.
Cool.
It
That's how
got-
it should be.
They fingerprinted us, all that stuff. I can't find my mugshot. It looks so horrible.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, me too.
I can
I'd love
imagine.
to show it to people, but
I can imagine.
the federal mugshot is a hard.
I looked for mine years ago.
It's hard to
and
get a hold of.
I couldn't find it.
So they fingerprinted us, put us in the tank. So the U.S. Marshal Station is in the same building as the federal court in Miami, in downtown, and they put us in this. Basically, it looks like the equivalent of the tank in a police station. It's
Wow.
like 4 jail cells. They put us all in the same one for whatever reason, and it gets to the point. All right, so we probably get there around 7:30, 8 in the morning. Around noon, we have our virtual. Remember, this is 2021.
Virtual court.
Yes, they take
Oh,
us.
this is COVID time.
COVID.
So
July.
did you guys all have masks on?
Some of us did, some of us didn't. So they put us in this room.
Did you wear a mask?
I mean,
We didn't wear masks in Tennessee.
we were in Florida, so we thought it was ridiculous.
You guys didn't do that. You
Yeah,
had
and then
DeSantis.
I'll tell you later what happened in the
Yeah,
middle of
okay.
court. Don't get me started.
All right.
Anyway,
Did you
so-
get vaccinated? No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No, I didn't.
Okay, good for you.
So they could take us into this room. We do our virtual, whatever, plead not guilty, bond set, whatever, all that. And they put us back in the jail cell. Right before they came to get us, though, I will say this: the only thing, and this sucked, man. Everybody was falling asleep in the jail cell because it was still so early, and we all,
Yeah.
it was rough. We were all tired. I couldn't sleep, and the only thing I could think of was my mother. I just had this image of my mother in my head crying, just bawling her eyes
And
out.
then at that moment, you broke down and cried.
No,
Jeez, man. Do you have any emotions at all?
no. I
Are you
never
an
cried
emotion?
throughout. I cried later,
Okay,
but not
all right.
not when I got
I
arrested.
want to know when you cried.
So we do the court thing. They put us back in the jail cell. And what was cool is every couple hours, the marshals would be like, hey, guys, I know it's Friday. We don't want to keep you here till Monday. Just, we're going to keep you updated. They were really nice, man. They were
Yeah.
really cool. And then at 5 o'clock, they said, all right, guys, get out of here. You can go home.
Wow.
Yeah. Very lucky. Because if not, I would have been stuck there till Monday. That would have been terrible. My business partner,
No bail set, nothing.
yeah, I got a bail. I got what was called $100,000 promissory note bond,
Oh, okay.
meaning I didn't have to pay any money. The only thing that was the agreement was my parents had to sign a paper saying if I fled, they owed the government $100,000,
Okay.
basically.
All right.
So
Was there just out of curiosity, was it all like, Cubans and Puerto Ricans and
I think all of us were Cuban.
all Cubans? Okay.
Cubans are notorious.
There wasn't like a cool white dude up in the
No.
mix?
No,
Okay.
no.
It would have been me.
Cubans
but
are
go ahead.
notorious for health insurance fraud. Anyway,
Okay.
so they let us go. My business partner, who owned the clinic, that medical marijuana clinic with me, comes to pick me up. Don't get me started on that guy. He shows up in a scooter, like
Wait, you had to ride on the back of the scooter?
on the back of a scooter.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I just want to paint this picture. Are you about the size you are right now?
Just about,
Okay.
give or take 10.
Is he
10,
a big guy?
Not really. He's the normal guy.
Okay. You just got indicted by the feds. A news channel was there to film your arrest. You were taken to an FBI warehouse, drove down a secret tunnel. And when they let you go, your friend comes by on is it a moped?
It's like one of those bird scooters that you rent.
Okay.
The
It's a
electric ones?
rented electric scooter. And you have to hold on to his waist.
Shoulders.
Okay. You went shoulders on the way home.
He decided it was a good idea to park his car 4 blocks away.
Okay. This
He's an idiot.
is now it's really a movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we hop in his car. I told him, bro, just take me somewhere to eat. I'm starving.
What did you say when he pulled up on a scooter? Nothing. He
Nothing.
was like,
I
"Hop
got-
on!
No, he didn't say
Let me get you out of here."
I just got on and I was like, bro, let's just leave.
Let's just go.
You're a moron. So I literally said it just like that. I was like, you're a moron. You're an idiot. Like, what are you
He's
doing?
like, "Here, put your helmet on. We got to go." All right.
Anyway, so he takes me to some Popeyes that's like maybe 4 or 5 miles away. I eat. I don't even remember what it tastes. The food tastes like. It was weird. I forgot who I called because I didn't have my phone on me. I called somebody from his phone, letting him know that I got out. I think it was my aunt or my dad, maybe my mom, maybe my mom. I get home, and my aunt and her significant other are waiting for me in their living room.
And
We
they're
sit
like,
down,
"Brother, what did you do?"
and she just starts saying, "I'm just glad you're okay." And
Wow.
that's when I bursted into tears.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't hold it. I was just like,
Wow. It all came out,
yeah, because
and it was the only time you ever cried in your entire life.
no. I had several moments throughout my indictment. And then from there, my life changed. I mean,
How much time did you get?
we're not even there yet. I was out on bond for a year and a half. Which was way torturous in actually getting sentenced and going to prison because the suspense of not knowing, And then my lawyer lied to me. Oh, there's a chance you won't go. There's a chance you won't go. Again, going back to lawyers, they're not there to help you. They're there to do
Not in
whatever
the feds.
They're there to do whatever the feds.
I
tell
know
them.
good lawyers, but I've never been
In the state.
fed. Yeah.
In the state, you got a chance. You can fight your case.
Yeah.
It's not the feds. So basically, at this point, the day after I wake up, my life, I can't run. I'm banned from working in healthcare for the rest of my life. So this business I've been working on for 4 years, I can't own anymore.
Wow, bro.
So me and my partner meet up again the next day. Hey, you got to figure out how to sell this thing. I can't help you sell it. Once you sell it, you got to give me my piece and we go our separate ways. Yeah, sure. He sells it, doesn't give me a dime. There isn't anything I could do about it. That's basically how that ended. So now I'm not only am I left with nothing, like do I have to I'm forced to live a different life and just now I literally have nothing.
Yeah.
Lost my
And
business.
I love it. I know that was rough for you at the time. I know you felt like you got screwed over by your buddy. I can't get away from the thought of like God was just cleaning the whole slate.
100%.
Like no dirty money, no nothing. No, sir, you don't get that money either. Okay.
100%.
I have way bigger plans for you.
100%.
Way bigger plans for you.
100%.
You're going to go do this bid, and that there in itself is going to catapult you into the calling that I have on your life. That's what I think.
Couldn't agree more, basically. But obviously at the time, I don't see this.
No.
Right? So I decided to write a book because the thought that came to me was basically, man, if I die tomorrow, there's not much proof I was here. So I decided to write a book because a book is forever, right? So I wrote a book. It's on Amazon. You can still get it. But it's kind of like the precursor because I couldn't really
What's
talk
the
about
book called?
It's called Montana Method.
Montana Method.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take a quick break and another quick word from our sponsors. All right, how we doing on time, Trent? Okay. What we got another 30 to go. Is that okay? All right. Okay, so tell me about this book, Montana Method.
It was basically all the good lessons I learned from Scarface.
Okay.
And I put it into a book.
How'd the book do?
It did well. I did a book launch, and I sold a little over 1,000 copies that night.
Wow, bro. Man, you're something else, dude. You
Yes.
got that thing that a lot of us don't have. So you're blessed. And you know, it's that thing
Thanks, buddy.
that, you know, I've got to continue to reinvent,
Yeah.
create,
I got to do something.
you know, and you know, it'll be it's the same with your show, man. You're going to blow that thing up and then you're going to start something else
Appreciate you, man.
and build that up. But Montana Method book.
Yeah, that was March of 2022. So the book does well. And I'm thinking, all right, how do I keep this kind of momentum going of changing my life? I said, you know what? Joe Rogan's birthday is August 11th, just like mine. I'm a huge Joe Rogan fan. I should start a podcast. You know what? I'm going to start a podcast. In June of 2022, with nothing but a microphone, I didn't even have cameras back then. I started a podcast,
Wow.
having no clue what I was doing. I didn't know anything about cameras, about uploading to YouTube. I didn't know anything, nothing. But I started. And I was like, all right, I see a future in this, you know, even though I was getting no results, no views, no nothing. I wasn't getting anything. So I actually decided to start recording in video because I started with audio only. And I was like, all right, I got to step it up. Let's do video. When I decide to do that, my sentencing date comes up and I have my court date and I get sentenced in October of 2022.
What was the sentence?
8 months.
Okay. 8 months in the
Yeah.
feds.
Yeah,
Eh.
you know.
I mean, some people, some normal people out there in the world might think that's horrible. Us ex-criminals, we'll do that standing on our head.
So at this point, I say, man, how do I keep the podcast going while I'm in there? So what I did was between October and January, which is when I had to turn myself in at the prison, I recorded as many podcasts as humanly possible. And I set it all to schedule while I was gone.
Wow.
So if you didn't know me, you thought I was still out because everything was still premiering, all my clips.
Who was doing that for you?
I set it all on a scheduler. It did it all by itself.
Wow.
Yep.
Crazy. So you go do 8 months. What's happening while you're in the feds? Like, what's happening emotionally, spiritually?
So a lot throughout, when I was out on bond, a lot happened, like emotionally, spiritually. It's a lot to go into. When I finally had to go, it was almost like I still felt like at any minute there could be something that happened and then I didn't have to go. It was weird.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. So my mother, my niece, my nephew, my sister all come to Miami to pick me up. We stay in a hotel up somewhere near Coleman, Florida. Coleman, Florida is 45 minutes west of Orlando. We stay in a hotel. The next morning, January 9th, 2023, the morning of my sister's 32nd birthday. Her present is to drop off her baby brother at federal prison. So it was so dramatic, man. I get off the car. They let me in. The guard's like, listen, if you want, you could take those clothes off and I'll hand it to your mom so she can take it. So I walk in the door and the door is closing slowly. And then I see my mom, my sister, and my niece. And they're like waving.
Man.
Yeah.
Heart and stomach, bro.
And then as soon as the door closed, the guard's like, all right, man, go in that room. I was like,
Get your ass in that room. Like, as soon as your mom can't hear what's going on.
So I walk in there, take off all my clothes. He's like, boxers too, bro. I was like, great.
Dang.
Great. You know, spread your cheeks, lift your sack,
Yeah.
all that stuff. I put on these clothes. I feel like a peasant. These
You're
clothes
like,
they give you just...
This is a lot worse than riding on the back of the scooter. My buddy picked me up in from the U.S. Marshals downtown.
So he introduced me to another inmate that's there who works like the front desk or whatever. There's no employees in a federal prison. The inmates do all the work. So the inmate says, "Where are you from?" "Oh, I'm Cuban. I'm from Miami." "Okay, I'm going to introduce you to some Cubans." So he takes me inside the prison, gives me a tour. Which was
Freaking club fed.
Yeah.
I told you. Welcome to the feds, Nelson.
not really. Anyway, so he introduces me to some Cubans. One gives me a pair of shorts, another one gives me a pair of shoes, another one gives me a notebook. Rest in peace, Calderon. He's since passed away. He actually gave me my first notebook that I started using to write in there.
Dang, everybody just kind of helps each other out in there?
Yeah.
Is it just that nice?
No, it's not about it being that nice. Federal prison is fairly racial.
Okay, so the races are separated?
Yeah, they all look out for each other. So,
Yeah.
you know, like,
But are they all trying to kill each other?
not where I was.
Okay.
Not where I was. And even at the higher level prisons, there's what's called politics. So if you just attack somebody for no reason, there's repercussions. It'll turn into all-out gang war.
Hey, it's all respect up in
Yeah.
here in the feds.
For the
you
most
know?
part, yeah.
Okay, I like it.
And the higher level security, as long as you're not, you know, some kind of kid diddler or something like that, you'll be fine. So
Which there's no real like kid killers going to the feds. I mean, it's all like bank fraud.
yeah, but that's at the lower security levels. Once you go higher security, there's murderers and
Okay.
there's rapists and terrorists and that kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Did you meet any terrorists while you were in there?
no, they weren't allowed to be where I was at.
Okay.
You had to be a non-violent felon to be at
Where you were at.
Where I was at,
Okay.
yeah. So basically, first night comes around, and it was weird. I felt like
This is your first full night ever to be locked up,
Yep.
and it's in the feds. You didn't start in county, bro. You've never been to county.
Nope.
You didn't go to prison, state prison.
never worn a pair of handcuffs,
Never wore a pair of handcuffs in your life.
except for the day that I got arrested.
My boy went straight to the feds.
Yep.
Okay.
So that night, mind you, someone's giving me some soap, someone's giving me some shampoo, shower slides, all that. I go to take a shower, and in the feds, all the shower slides are separate, you know? So you have your own individual shower. It's not like in the state
Club
where
fed.
everything, yeah. This guy. So I go in there, start taking a shower, and then someone noticed that I left my shower slides at the end of the stall. I'm not taking a shower in my shower slides. And I hear, Cuba, Cuba. That's what everybody called me in Cuba. And it's this guy named Mello. Mind you, Mello is a Puerto Rican gang member with a scorpion tattoo across his face. So I said, hey, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. My first night in prison. Where to go? And he's just pointing at the floor. He's like, oh, your shoes. I put them on. I finish taking a shower. I go to my cell and I start drying off and getting dressed. And he comes in and he's like, bro, no haga eso. Don't do that. He's speaking to me in Spanish. Don't do that. You're going to get fungus on your feet, man. What's wrong with you? You're going to get mushrooms. I was like, oh. And he was like, dude, guys piss in there. They
They were looking out for you. You thought there was some like gangster stuff going on.
No, he was looking out.
And he was like, hey, I don't want you to get the fungus, Yeah, my bro.
So that night I lay down, I look at the roof and I'm like, man, how in the F up did I end up here, bro?
Yeah.
Just how did I end up here?
How did I end up here? And how blessed am I to have people care about whether I get fungus on my feet or not?
That didn't cross my mind, but yes. So that was the end of the pity party. I woke up the next day and I said, you know what? I'm going to be here. Make the best of it. So I started reading 100 pages of a book every day.
Yeah.
It ranged from Robert Greene. I'm a huge Robert Greene fan. I read all his books, Art of Seduction, 33 Strategies of War, Mastery, Laws of Human Nature. All those books are great. I read Abraham Lincoln's autobiography. I read the Odyssey. I read so much, and it was like a really wide range of different stuff that I read. I read 34 books in 5 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you end up doing 5?
Yeah. I got out in 5.
Did it go long? Did it feel like it was forever?
Yeah, at first, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I built my routine. It was positive. I knew who to stay away from. I knew who to become friends with.
So think about this, okay? 5 months. You get out. Those first few nights out, maybe even the first month out. It was weird, wasn't it?
Very strange.
Think about guys that do 10, 20, 30 years and then have to come back out and try to reconform to society.
It's insane.
Think about how weird it is. Like, I think the most I ever did was like 8 months or something like that. And when I got out, man, it took me a couple months to just kind of like
reacclimate. Yeah, of course.
It was weird, bro.
So I get into my routine, and one of the first days, this was maybe my 4th day out there, I was writing a lot. I'd write in my journal 3 to 4 times a day. And I'm planning on turning that journal into a book. And this one morning, and maybe it was like 8 o'clock, I go out into the field and I sit by myself. I used to spend a lot of time alone. At least that was another thing on the to-do list every day. I needed to spend 1 hour alone every day. So
I would love to spend 1 hour alone every day. That would be amazing. The way that you do it when you're married with kids. So like when you go to the gas station for something, you just sit in your car in the gas station parking lot and you sit there until your wife calls you and says, "Where are you?" And then you say, "I'm just sitting in my car at the gas station parking lot." And then she says something like, what's wrong with you? And you don't really have an answer because there's no like valid answer as to why you just took an hour to sit in a gas station parking lot. But that is how you get breaks as a married father of 5.
There you go.
Those are your moments alone. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm sitting in this field, and I remember I even wrote what I was thinking. I was like, man, the present moment. And I could feel the winds. Like the grass was beautiful. It was like this golden color over the grass. It was so beautiful. Like because the sun had just risen. So you know that golden color the sun gets at sunrise. Bro, beautiful. The forest. There was animals out in the brush. I don't know if it was maybe a turkey or a deer or...
This is in Miami?
No, this is in Central Florida.
This is where you're at?
Yeah,
Okay.
Coleman, Florida, which is 45 minutes west of Orlando.
All right.
Middle of nowhere in the forest. And I said, man, that's what God is, dude. Just the present moment. And it being in nature was what really helped, you know? And I understood that's like... I went to prison to reconnect with my soul, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. Look, man, you get out and, you know, for whatever reason, dude, like we connected. I feel like I've known you for a long time. Like you're my bud. I don't have to like guard my mouth. Like you're my dude. But I have seen how you run your business. I mean, your podcast, Honor Among Thieves, where you interview like ex-criminals and things of that nature. We hope they're ex. And the stories that they tell. You had me on to tell my story and all of that good stuff. And then just your dedication and what you're doing with your life and how you've turned it around and how you are in touch with kind of who you are and all of those things. And I'm sure your family's like super proud of you. And it's fun to watch. Like I know for a fact that like, I mean, your stuff's already kind of blown up. I mean, I hope someday to be at the level you are in regard to views and things of that nature. The fact that you took your time out of your busy schedule to fly here, and come to Murfreesboro and do my show for me and support me like that. And all of the advice you've given me and all of those things, man, is priceless to me. And you do it out of the kindness of your heart. You by nature are a giving, genuine person. It's who you are. And it's just, your story is so like you went through all of those things for a reason to get to the point here of what you're doing. And man, I'm proud to know you, and I can't wait to watch where life continues to take you, man. You're a smart dude, bro. I'm sure Mom's is pretty proud of you, man. She's pretty happy.
Sure she is.
Have you had Mom on the podcast?
Not yet. My parents' story is crazy, man. That's a whole Netflix movie on its own. But I gotta get their permission to tell their story. We'll see when that happens. So yeah, man. Honor Among Thieves. If you want to find me, obviously, you know, in prison is where I got the idea. Everybody started telling me their stories, and I was like, all right, this is why I came here, to give these people a voice, bro. You know? And then it happened. It's actually one of my top performing episodes. One of my friends that I did time with, Solo, he has a crazy story. He's one of my top performing episodes. It's crazy. Like, I told people in prison, dude, when I get out, you're going to be on my podcast. And
it happened.
Now we're doing it.
Honor Among Thieves, that can be found on the YouTube channel, Honor Among Thieves, can be found on TikTok, Honor Among Thieves, Facebook, Honor Among Thieves, Instagram, Honor Among Thieves. I was blessed enough to be on your show. And man,
your episode was sick, by the way. It was great.
Thank you. Crazy story. Our lives, a lot of similarities in our lives, man. And we got it together. So, I mean, saying to the people or any younger guys that may be watching this show, you do not have to take the path we took
Definitely not.
to get to where we're at.
100%.
You also know that that path we took is not a winning path
By any
whatsoever.
means. No.
You know, when you wake up every day and you are one of these people, you may not consider yourself like a Christian, you know, a follower of Jesus. It's none of my business if you do or don't, but I will tell you this, the way you live your life and how you, as unselfish as you are a model for people trying to give their life to God
Thank you,
and
brother.
what it's all about,
Appreciate
man. You really are.
Appreciate it. Man.
And it's evident that you find joy in helping other people and doing for others, man. So, man, I appreciate you being here, bro.
Appreciate you inviting me.
You
Man.
know, thank you for flying in for, you know, an hour and a half of talking, but we're about to go eat and, you know, hang out for a minute and do all that good stuff, man.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Till next time.
All right. Yes, sir.
Peace out, Tennessee.
I can hear it all the time. I can see it in my mind.
When you're satisfied, I know you are, I know you are. When you're satisfied, I know you are, I know you are.